What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, welcome to another quickie. It's Tuesday afternoon here in Manila. Hope you are all doing well. I'm not sure how your teams are doing, but it's the first day of week 2. And it's a little bit early for the week. So let's talk about some fantasy. Of course, I'm your host JJT with Komish. Eric, go. Komish.
Yes, guys. Yes.
So far, so good.
Not good. I was against, as I told you a while ago, I was against Paul George and Jimmy Butler and Chris Middleton. So, like, the three of them was, I think, Miles Bridges also. So, four of them. Four guys destroyed me today. And I didn't have much players in my roster. So got demolished in day one.
Hopefully, it's the latter part of the week wherein you have more players there.
I hope so.
But yeah, well, let's talk about since first week ended yesterday. We talked about some of the players that were surprising when it comes to their rankings. Maybe today, let's talk a little bit about first rounders, because as we've seen, there are overachievers or currently playing well or well above their ADPs, and there are underachievers, players who are playing below their ADP, and there are those that we kind of expected they'll be this good somehow.
Yeah.
So today what we'll do is probably we'll rank the top 12, see if we were to do the draft today, who will
maybe let's do it alternately. Like you rank 1, I'll go 2, then you go 3, and then go 4 until 14, because we usually play in 14-team leagues.
I'll take the easy part, the first pick.
Are you still going with Jokic?
Yeah, I will still go with Jokic.
Okay.
Because Jokic has always been solid, and like I said, I'm having problems with players who are good at just a few stat set, unlike Jokic, who you can build around with any type of team as well.
So far, Jokic is 5th overall. His stats are 27, 16, 4 assists, and 2.7 steals. I think the steals are a surprise. He has
and the assists are too low.
Yeah. The assists are too low. The steals are surprising. 65% field goal. He's always been good there. So far, so good. I think that's correct. I think Jokic still has a gear to go to, as I think you're thinking of that also. That's why I think he's still number 1 after 1 week.
I think what contributes as well to the low assist numbers are the players around him aren't playing well. Like the number 2 guy, who was supposed to be Michael Porter Jr., is now nowhere to be found, right? So
yes,
I think that's
correct.
Contributing to the low assist mark.
That's correct.
Who's your number 2?
I'm still going with Steph Curry. I think after a strong week 1, he's player of the week of the NBA. I think he looks good. The shooting is okay, not too good, 43%, but overall he has compensated with the rebounds and the assists.
Yep.
It has he had a game where he had only 1 or 2 assists, but he had a game where he had 10 assists. So overall, averaging it out, I think he's close to a triple-double. He's doing what James Harden was doing before.
Yeah.
So I think there's no debate. Steph should be number 2 right now.
And I think you wouldn't fault anyone if they wanted to get Steph at number 1.
Yes. I agree.
Right? So I think there's still, the way Steph has been playing, he's been really good so far. So number 2. Now the tricky part is who you
let
pick
me
number
see
3.
Who you go
as
number 3.
Wait, let me see the list. I'll probably go. I think I might go Giannis on this one.
Okay. Just for clarification, guys, usually pre-draft, it was Harden or Luka going number 3.
Yeah.
Or Steph
Or
sometimes.
Steph,
So,
yeah.
or Giannis. Giannis sometimes goes number 3, but rare, not as much as the 3 other players. So now you're gonna say it's Giannis for you.
Yeah. I go
Okay.
Giannis. I think just the consistency. I don't
Okay.
see. I mean, Giannis. It seems like he doesn't have an off night, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no off night when it comes to Giannis. He contributes in a lot of stats. The scoring has always been there. It's kind of, if you look at him, the scoring might come too easy. The rebounding is too easy. The free throws moved up a bit. Still early.
But the field goals moved down. So that's
But what's the field goal number?
48%.
Still not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take that. But yeah, I think that's the reason. Another reason for that is he might be shooting a lot more jumpers, a lot more threes. So, which is something that he's trying to develop, I guess. But I think having no off night every game and you know what to expect. Clearly, I think for me that's number 3.
Okay, me. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
I the surprising thing here would be bypass James Harden. It's one of our worry players today. Karl Anthony Towns, Minnesota up and down today had a bad game, but he has been solid. He's been shooting 3-pointers, 3.3 3-pointers a game this year. And it has not affected his field goal shooting, although today he had a bad field goal shooting day.
Yeah.
But I think we were debating between Lillard or Towns. I think it's past that right now. Karl Anthony Towns should be the guy at number 4. Yeah. Number 4.
And he is throwing some defensive stats as well to go with those numbers.
Yes, 2.3 blocks, 1.3 steals. I think he's locked and loaded today.
Yeah.
This season, I mean, locked and loaded this season.
Number 5.
Number 5. Let's see how low Harden drops.
I'll go with Paul George at number 5.
Whoa, that's the biggest leap.
So there are 2 people I tried to weigh in at number 5. One is Paul George and the other one is Kevin Durant.
Correct. Good choices.
The reason why I chose Paul George is there's always this lingering thing about Kevin Durant wherein you feel that later on he'll be rested, he won't be playing as much, right? Once they get it going, they'll probably defer a little bit to Harden. So, although I have to admit, KD has been playing really, really, really well. I mean, could easily to the top 3 there.
Yes,
but there's that lingering thought that he might be rested a bit. So I think I'll go with Paul George. Number 5.
One thing with Paul George, he had 8 steals today. Just to mention it to our listeners.
I have that Paul George
Jimmy Butler
combo in
solid
invitationals. Unfortunately, the rest of my team are not as good, but so far I'm leading, so keeping my fingers crossed.
I think your steals would be solid. You had 14 steals together today in one day.
Yeah.
And that was one thing we were worried about Paul George. Last year, he averaged less than 2 steals, less than 1.5, I think 1.2 last year, which is uncharacteristic of Paul George. This year, he's been averaging 3.7 steals again. He's an elite steals guy, and if his steals creep up again to where it was before, he's basically having Kobe Bryant numbers. He's the real next Mamba for me, not Devin Booker. But the numbers are Kobe Bryant. The numbers are Kobe Bryant.
Coming from a Kobe fan.
Yes, the numbers are Kobe Bryant.
That's a big compliment already.
Except the field goal, but the others are Kobe Bryant like. So I think that's correct. Number 5, that's bold of you to pick him number 5. But since you didn't pick Kevin Durant, I'm gonna go Kevin Durant at number 6. The reason why I have him higher now is because they announced that he's not gonna miss back-to-backs. That's 12 games that. Well, he could still miss some games.
Some back-to-backs, but
at least it's not a given.
Yeah.
So that's 12 games where you don't have to subtract from his totals. And per game, he's top 3, as you said. He's been so good, and I think it's also because Harden has been so bad. So that's why I guess at number 6 you would be happy to get Kevin Durant already.
And he goes there. I think there's really not much change in that Durant scenario. And I think that's for many, I think that would still be the factor there. Although he's
Perez.
gonna be playing back to backs, we don't know how much back to backs he will be playing, right? So I think
Yeah. I think that's
that's
safe. 6 is safe. I think.
yeah, and the mileage as well that Kevin Durant had during the past season and the Olympics. Number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Tatum at number 7. Safe. I don't think Tatum moved up too much. I think he was usually being drafted at the 9th, 10th mark, right? 11, 9 to 11. So I don't think that's a big move. So yeah, I don't mind taking him at 7. At 7 at this point.
Now this is the hard part. Tatum today 41 points. I guess he's getting his groove already from the bad first game. I'm trying to stall a little bit because I really don't know who I'm gonna go with number 8. But okay, I'll go with James Harden at number 8. I think he has fallen too low already. And now we can talk about Harden since that's our topic also.
Yeah.
James Harden is averaging 3 free throw attempts. We've talked about this, but it has not improved at all. 3 free throw attempts a game. 3 from 11, from 12, from 13, from whatever it is when he was in Houston. And even last year, he was averaging 9 at 3 free throw attempts. 3. I don't know what that is, why it's like that, but I assume it should improve there. But the shooting has been bad also. It's been 37%. He won't shoot that bad. He'll be at least 45%, in my opinion. So if those things even out, I think he might not be a top 3 guy as I expected, as I hope, or even a top 2 guy without Kyrie. But he's still a top 10 guy. He's still solidly a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So that's
Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I think of all the ones that have been left off, he still has the best upside among all those. Of course.
Why do you think he's struggling?
Because
Mrs.
KD's
Kyrie?
KD's playing too well, I guess.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
I haven't really watched much of the Nets game, so I couldn't really say what's the problem there. But yeah, I think just the groove. I think I really still don't know because the turnovers have been really bad as well.
Yes.
So I think it's just a matter of adjustment. Them not having a different rotation. They have had different rotations for the past few games, right?
That's true.
From not playing Bruce Brown to now playing Bruce Brown to playing LaMarcus or not playing LaMarcus as much to playing LaMarcus.
And then Claxton.
Right? And then so they have been adjusting, and I think he might be deferring a little too much.
Number 9.
Number 9, it's my turn.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with who's number 9? Who am I missing out in the top?
Lillard, Luka.
Anthony Davis.
Okay, Anthony Davis.
I think we liked Anthony Davis early on as a late round pick.
Yes.
So I think he is playing hey, come on, hold on. He is playing well, not bad. I mean, not as bad as last year. So I think he is playing better this year. So yeah, I'll go Anthony Davis at number 9.
For me at number 10, I'll go with Damian Lillard.
I'm surprised.
I'm choosing between Lillard and who's the other guy? Luka. Not Beal. Beal has been struggling. Lillard has been struggling also. So I think, yeah, I mean, Chauncey Billups is a new coach. Let's talk about Lillard for a while. Chauncey is a new coach. Today was terrible again. But I think he's been shooting terribly. He's been shooting 36%. And only 0.7 3-pointers. Those numbers, will not stay there. So, but I put a little penalty on the fact that he doesn't seem to fit that well in the Chauncey system so far. So you'll be having, I think, 2 to 3 weeks of adjustments. So that will hurt his ranking a bit. So I put him down a little bit to number 10.
Okay, so number 11.
Yes.
Luka fans might get mad, but I'll pick Trae Young at 11.
You pick Trae over Luka. Interesting.
Because the assist, we all know that's gonna be hard to get later on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having that elite player who can pass the ball is good. Plus the he's been playing well. I mean, he's been playing well the past 3 games. The free throws are not, the attempts are not that much, but of course they're almost as good as anyone's free throws, right? I mean, they're one of the best when it comes to hitting shots from the free throw line. So I'll go with Trae.
Okay. I was thinking of Trae. Trae is actually good this year. In fairness, he's been good. He's actually ranked to the top in the first round. That's good. So that's surprising. So now at number 12, I'm gonna go Joel Embiid. Sorry, Luka fans. Sorry, Luka fans, but even an injury-riddled Embiid, I'm more comfortable picking at this point. Number 12, that's a steal. Even look at his stats in 30 minutes only this year. 21-7. I mean, 1.3 blocks at steals, 2.7 blocks. He's top 15 even if he's been struggling with his sore knee. So I think at number 12, you have to go with him. He's not even averaging 10 rebounds a game and he's number 14.
Yeah.
So at this point it's too late and it's worth the shot. It's worth the risk. Let's go on with 13 and 14 because that's where it is interesting. The last two. Your last pick.
I might pick Luka at 13.
If you don't pick Luka, I think a lot of Luka fans will just not listen to this video.
Say, I'll pick Luka. I'm not a big Luka fan.
Mm-hmm. That's obvious.
And I know that there's really good upside on Beal. I think Beal is the other person that I was choosing between the two. But I think, again, another player who's not going to be hard to build around other than the free throws. But counting stats-wise, you can build around the rebounding or the assist. And then that's how I like some of my builds, right? More balanced early on, so it's easier to build around later on. I'll go with
Luka free throw watch. It's 78%. So far so good, guys. But so far not much steals. It's not much anything else.
Luka versus Giannis.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Who gets the better free throw percentage at the end of the season?
Last pick for me.
Are you gonna surprise us with a second rounder that moved up?
Yeah,
or?
I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler. Here. Looks good. Looks really good so far. Starting to ramp up his game. Started a little slow in game 1, but now, I mean, this is not because of the 36.6 steal game a while ago. I think if you watch the offense, he's getting more of the role of facilitating, creating more than Kyle Lowry. Lowry has been struggling, hobbled, injured. So I'm not afraid of Lowry. I'm not afraid of anybody on the bench. We know that there's not much on the bench for Miami. I'm afraid more of Bradley. I'll say what I did not choose Bradley Beal. I'm afraid of the depth of Washington, in a sense that they're really deep. They don't have a number 2 star, but they have a lot of players who can score.
Provide, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Butler, but it's close between Butler and Bradley Beal.
Yeah. So that's so do you think Beal is worthy of 15?
Well, he's not playing like it, but I think he will reach there. I think he will reach the 15 spot eventually. We're ranking these guys looking at the future also.
Yeah. Based on what they do now and of course what their potential is
Yeah, I think so.
eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So those are our our take on the rankings. So if you are just about to start your fantasy, maybe you could consider those as well. But if that's just fun rankings for us.
Yeah.
Just to give our takes on these top 14 players. Now let's move on to our feel good players. We mentioned Paul George, we mentioned Jimmy Butler, but two centers who have been balling right now. Jarrett Allen and Jonas Valanciunas. Jarrett Allen, the field goal has been really good.
84%.
The
My
rebounding has
goodness.
been good.
Yeah.
The blocks is where I wanted more from him.
But remember, they're playing with Larry Markkinen and Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
So because of that, he finds himself outside the 3-point line guarding guards sometimes. The switches and everything. He doesn't have as much as opportunity to block because it's spread out. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
Mobley, sometimes it's Markkinen. So that might be affected. And remember, I'm just reminding all of you that when he was traded to Cleveland, he was this good in the beginning. And then I don't know where he went. I don't know what happened. So be aware.
Hopefully you'll be able to sustain this.
Hopefully. Yes.
Because I guess after being traded to Cleveland later on, Cleveland pretty much tanked already throughout the rest of the season, right? So but he was, before getting traded, he was also good in Brooklyn.
Not this good.
Well, not this good, but
Yeah.
I mean, serviceable, not bad as well. Not the because I remember he had some bad years before, wherein he was drafted too high. Another player who had a 2020 today, Jonas Valanciunas.
Who would you rather have?
Valanciunas or Allen?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Valanciunas.
Even after all that Jarrett Allen has done?
Yeah, I think more sustainable. There's no threat really to him. Jarrett Allen has that Evan Mobley threat in him that could be that wherein his game could be affected later on, right? So I think Valanciunas, I'm not threatened by any Zion return.
I was just gonna ask you if you're worried about Zion coming back.
No. The way I've seen him and the news, the reports of him being too big right now, I think it would take some time before he gets himself into game shape, and playing 30-35 minutes. So even with Zion there, I think he'll still play center and he'll be still good. Not this good, obviously, but he'll still be solid.
I agree. I also go with J-Val. And I wrote that I was thinking of who to sell to target if you want to sell high on Jarrett Allen. And I was thinking the logical choice was Jonas Valanciunas. But the owner of Jonas Valanciunas will not fall for that because he's playing so well. And I'm not afraid. I'm afraid of a Zion return. I think that will hurt him. But I don't know if it's anytime soon. So it might take a long while.
It would hurt him, but given the ADP of Jonas, I don't think it would hurt him as much.
Maybe, yeah.
Right. One player I can think of you could sell high Jarrett Allen for maybe an Ayton. Is that too much to ask?
That's a good thing actually. I think you could get Ayton with Allen right now. If you offer Allen right now, you can get DeAndre Ayton. The question is that the right thing to do? Isn't Ayton overrated this year because he was picked a little high? So that's the question. If you want my answer, I don't think he was overrated. I still have Ayton over Allen, but I mean overall,
you won't have that Evan Mobley threat with Ayton.
Yes,
I mean, there's no threat in Phoenix for Ayton, right? Even if he plays bad as he is right now. So yeah, those are our feel good players. Of course, add to that list Paul George and Jimmy Butler. Worry players. Let's talk about our favorite because I think this could be short. Chris Boucher, 4 minutes today. My goodness. And I thought I had him a steal at 100 something.
I said, if your team is struggling, there's nothing to think about. You have to drop him. I know that, the next game he might get 15, 20 minutes and he might get 3 blocks. And then you say, oh no, I dropped him. I made a mistake. But you know that after that game, the next game, he'll have games like this again. 10 minutes, 8 minutes. And he's in the doghouse. It's as simple as that. He's in the doghouse of Nick Nurse. So if you want to wait, if you're, you think my team is so strong, go. But I think he's a drop.
No, before dropping him, maybe you could shop him around first. I think he still has some value in the trade part.
I don't think so. This one I might
wait
not
for a
agree
good
with
game.
you.
Wait for a good game.
I doubt it. In
Eh.
14 teams,
Jaden McDaniels.
Okay, maybe. But would you rather have Jaden than Boucher? I think they're the same thing.
Well,
Jaden is also
they're the same thing minus the inconsistency in the playing time.
yeah, maybe, but yeah, I guess if you really just want to have somebody to get something
just to get someone
Boucher.
who's not droppable, right? I mean, Boucher is there. Larry Nance not having that much playing time.
Powell is injured, although it's just according to Powell, it's just day-to-day soreness. But even with Powell injured, Larry Nance played 18 minutes. So what I think he's
actually been dropped in a lot of leagues, 14 leagues. So it might be time to move on, but always keep an eye on him later on. Right.
Correct.
D'Angelo Russell, he started off a little not too bad, and then tapered off.
He's 14-4-4 and then 31%. That's last few games has been really bad. Last few games has been really bad. I don't think he's the steal that I thought he was, but I think it's going to be better. At the 70s, I thought he was a steal, but it looks like he's not going to reach the top 50 or 60, in my opinion, this year. So I think you have to adjust your expectations with D'Lo.
And Malik Beasley, his teammate, is not getting enough minutes. Just too much, too many people or too many players getting the minutes as well.
Malik Beasley said last year he came into the season in good shape, in great shape. This year he's coming to the season, he's playing himself to get to shape during the season. So he might turn it around, but that will be a while. That will be a while.
And lastly, Michael Porter Jr. We talked about him a lot. What else to say? There was a trade we were talking about in one of the FBW League group chats. There was a trade that was, not the trade within the league, but we talked about a trade. I think it was Michael Porter Jr. for Tobias. And
okay, now that is a sell high buy low trade, I think.
Yeah, well, right. Like I told them, I'm not too high on Michael Porter, but at the end they might just be close. I think consistency is the one that you're buying with Tobias. The upside is what you're buying with Michael Porter Jr. But so far the upside hasn't really shown. So maybe my thinking is at the end of the season they might not be as far off between each other.
I think so.
Right?
Yes.
So they're gonna be close. I just feel like some Michael Porter Juniors were drafted a little too high. So I think that's correct. Where, but in the end, they might be on the same level with Tobias already. So that's pretty much a fair trade there. Buy players for today. We talked about Nasser Little. He played well and contributed across the board.
And I think he should be added while Powell is out. 2 steals, 2 blocks, some 3-pointers.
Yep.
I guess he's the guy to add, not Larry Nance. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Cam Reddish, if you need the threes, some steals. DeAndre Hunter was out today.
Yeah, for maintenance.
Doesn't seem long term. No, it said that he had some illness, so I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah.
So it's really not a load management thing. Franz Wagner, we talked about him. He shouldn't be in your waiver wire by this time. If he is, you should be grabbing him already. And these guys, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, and Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis, I just want to talk about him. He's been dropped a lot in most leagues. I think you should pick him up because he's close to returning, and Brook Lopez is, I don't know what's up with Brook Lopez back, but he has not been close to returning. So if Portis comes back before Lopez, you get yourself great value there with Portis.
And he is IL eligible, so if you have that IL spot free, you can add him up already. Of course, Grayson Allen and Connaughton have been playing well. If you need some threes there consistent threes, then they might be your guy. Bruce Brown is slowly picking up in playing time, the minutes. I think in a 14 team, if he continues to get those minutes, he should be an ad there.
I think Bruce Brown, yeah, I agree with you. Bruce Brown should be 14 teams. Yeah, not much roster, but you could do worse than picking him up. He's basically like a Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith kind of guy. Like sometimes
he will be the guy that will be passed around a lot.
Yeah, something like that. He'll have some big games here and there, but overall just a steady, solid guy. Nothing spectacular.
Yeah,
with Bruce Brown.
And lastly, Pat Beverly of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I mean, I think Davion Mitchell, if he gets the stats of Pat Bev this year, he'll be happy. Around maybe 10 to 12 points, maybe 2 3-pointers, 1.2, 1.3 steals. I mean, that's what you can get from Pat Bev. And some assists also.
Yeah.
Low end, but right now we're looking for values everywhere. So I think Pat Bev can be a good ad.
Yep.
Should be a good ad.
Yep. So those are our buy players for today. And that's it for today's quickie. Not too long. So I think we just, we're able to tackle a lot as well in the 30 minutes that we are here. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. I appreciate those who have been posting us or commenting about us when people ask for references or where they can get some help in their fantasy team. So we appreciate that a lot and hope you subscribe, follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on our Facebook page. And with that, we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.